This is not what I would pick if I were 30, 31 years old, and I'm thinking, all right, where am I going to boogie for the next 6, 7 years of my career? Where can I make this happen? I would not circle the Warriors. Yeah, it's just something that is sort of in my belly, and it's not just this time. I know that Shams had the whole thing about Giannis, and anytime there is a big name in the NBA and they're going upstairs to have a talk with the boss about their future, and whether that's Giannis or whether it's the Mavericks stink and they're going to move on from Anthony Davis, or the 18th time that Joel Embiid and the Sixers are having this conversation, whatever it is, if you have a pulse and an NBA team, you immediately start thinking about that player on your team. So I'm not here to throw water on any idea of Giannis coming because, like you said, I'm not in his head. Like, we get to Greg Cosell this one. I'm not in Giannis's head. I don't know what he wants. But I would be really surprised if what he wants is here. And my number one reason for saying that is, like, yeah, you've got a great relationship with Steph, but if anybody out there thinks that a current NBA star in his prime is looking at the landscape of the league and thinking to himself, okay, where can I pair up and win? If you think that's here, you're a fan. You are a fan, and I'm a fan. But even I don't think that. This is not what I would pick if I were 30, 31 years old, and I'm thinking, all right, where am I going to boogie for the next 6, 7 years of my career? Where can I make this happen? I would not circle the Warriors.
Well, you could talk about where would you circle, but let's look at the teams that you might circle that aren't going to be in the Giannis business. Like, you would circle OKC. Well, OKC's not going to break up what they have to bring you in, and you could circle Minnesota, and I think you could look at that and say the same thing. They probably won't break up what they have, so you can go team by team and look at the teams that look to be on the cusp of being really great, whether it's the Lakers, like Luka and LeBron. You're not going to part with either one of them, so they're off the table. And so as you go through it, you're looking at not only this year, but 6 or 7 years down the road, sure. And if you're looking at the Warriors, you're thinking about this as a now. Because if the Warriors were to make this happen, they'd have to gut their future draft picks. And so if you're Giannis, you're thinking, all right, it's this year and or next year, and then probably that might be it.
But even that, Dibs.
Even that
to
me is more appetizing than what you have in Milwaukee.
Yes, I'll give you that. Milwaukee's terrible.
So if it's Steph, Draymond, and Giannis and JK, or it's Steph, Jimmy, and Giannis, no Draymond, no JK, like, you would feel like you've at least got a shot. You got a shot.
You would feel like, I don't think that somebody in his position is going to go to the agent and to management and say, I would like out, and what I would like you to do for me is, give me a shot over the next 18 months.
Send me to Washington.
That's not where. No. You want teams that I would actually be interested in if I were Giannis, and again, I'm not in his head, but if my thought is, how do I win? How do I pair up? You want to know the names that come through my mind? Cade Cunningham comes through my mind. Victor Wembanyama comes through my mind. And maybe Jalen Brunson and a bevy of very good B-plus players in New York, like Karl Anthony Towns would be part of the deal. That's where I'm thinking I could go, I could win, and it would last for a while. It would last for more than 18 months. Why would I join people who are 37 and 38 years old? I don't care what their name is. I know he's the most wonderful thing we've ever seen. But I think that we see it through the glasses that we have, and I understand that.
Yeah, but you also have to see it through the ESPN trade machine. And so if you want to go to Detroit, Tobias Harris makes 26, Duncan Robinson makes 16, Isaiah Stewart makes 15. All right, now you're getting close.
And all your picks.
And all your picks. So those three guys in Milwaukee's thinking, no. I mean, yeah, maybe, and probably not. And all your picks, fine.
Remember, Milwaukee does not have the power here. This is the NBA.
Milwaukee has time. They've got the clock.
Not necessarily.
They don't have to do it now. They could do it in the offseason.
They
could do it in next year's trade deadline. And by the way, right now, Giannis is damaged goods.
Yeah, very temporarily, and I don't even know.
Cavs are tricky.
Yeah, who knows if that, like, this could be a Jawan Jennings cap. My point is if I'm Giannis and I'm looking at this whole thing, I'm in control. Anthony Davis got to the Lakers because he told New Orleans at the time, we're going to the Lakers. That's what we're doing. Now, sometimes, depending on the star you are and where you are in your career, like, for instance, Dame Lillard, you waited too long. Dame Lillard finally asked out when he was not kind of at his highest power. So when he goes, send me to Miami, they're like, well, all we heard was the letter M, so now you're in Wisconsin. We're going to go to Milwaukee, not Miami. And they had a little bit of juice in this whole thing. Milwaukee will have no juice. Nobody acquires Giannis unless an extension is signed. And Giannis can simply say, that's the team where I will sign an extension. And if you don't deal me, then you get left with nothing, and I will not help your rebuild when the time comes. He is going to have all of the juice.
Eventually.
So Giannis
but
goes.
Not yet.
Well, that's fine, but I don't know how waiting helps you.
Well, you wait, and he doesn't play, and then now you are at the top of the lottery because you stink. And
yeah,
I mean, if he has a calf,
anyway.
I mean, you're 10-13 right now. You're very much in the mix in the East, like everyone is.
I don't know if I'd call them in the mix. Like they're hanging on.
Everyone in the East is in the mix.
Yeah, they're hanging on to the bottom of the play-in tournament in a bad conference.
Right, and if he doesn't want to play, if his calf lingers, and if it flares up, then you have the opportunity to wait and use lottery picks, and then go ahead and try again next year or try in the offseason.
No, I get
You're
it.
not under the gun because he has one more year under contract.
I know, but you know that this is not usually the way it works. When you've got franchise legends and they can start really messing with things, like don't make the mistake of thinking that if Milwaukee waits, that Giannis will necessarily just sit there and make that comfortable if that's not what he wants. He's got Shams. He's got social media.
He's never shown himself to be that guy.
No, he hasn't, but challenge him. Go ahead and don't do what he's asking you to do, and let's see what happens. And I just don't think that the Bucks will do that. Like, I don't think they've cowered to this guy at every single stage. Dame Lillard, Miles Turner, and beyond. And like, that's what usually happens when an NBA star starts to buck. Like, it's very rare that the Miami Heat situation will happen where they're like, oh, you're not happy? Go home. But that's Pat Riley, and there aren't really any Pat Rileys out there anymore.
Not in Milwaukee.
Not in
certainly.
Milwaukee. So if he says, get me to the Spurs, well, then 2 minutes later, the Bucks are going to call the Spurs.
Right. I mean, it's easy to make that call, but then you look at San Antonio's roster and you think, okay, what can the Spurs part with that they want to part with that's going to actually match the money? And that's where it becomes tougher than,
it's always tough.
I want to be a Knick. Okay, well, the Knicks have the kitty cat making 53. They like him. They've got Anunoby making 40. They like him. They got Brunson making 35. They like him. They got Bridges making 25. They like him.
Yeah, but you give someone you like up. Cat's in that deal, for sure.
I mean, if you're Milwaukee, you don't want Cat.
If you're Milwaukee, the only damn thing you can hope for here is picks.
You want an expiring contract. You don't want Cat for 57 and then a player op for 61.
Sure you do. That's only a couple
Not really.
years. This is not going to be a quick fix in Milwaukee. Like, I mean, the player matching in a situation like this is kind of whatever. Like, you're going to have somebody to match, and then the only thing you can hope for is either, and maybe both if you're lucky, which is a pick haul, and then is there a young player who could develop? You know what I mean? And that's why if the Warriors were going to do it, absolutely, rather than Jimmy Butler, they would say, give me Draymond and Kuminga. For sure they would. Not because they want Draymond, they want Kuminga. Like, give me the young asset that might pop. Give me all of your picks. Jimmy Butler does us nothing, and it covers all the salary. So that's for sure what they would do. And is there a throw-in? Can I have Pods? Can I have Moody? That would all happen. So, I mean, think about when I think it was the Hornets at the time, when they sent out Anthony Davis. They wanted Brandon Ingram and Julius Randle, and they got all of these people. Now, none of them ever really did much there, but like that's the ideal, and then you hope that it can develop, like you can be good while those players are still there. Didn't work for New Orleans.
Right.
But
if you're going to trade with a good team, you're anticipating that the picks you get back are not going to be lottery picks. So I understand that you want to accommodate Giannis, but as an organization, it's up to you to make a trade that's actually going to help you. When you get picks back, you're going to get picks from a team that's not very good.
Right, but...
And Giannis doesn't have a no trade.
No, but the thought is that anybody that Giannis joins is going to get better. So, that pick is automatically going to get worse.
But if you send him to New York, and New York's already going to be a top 8 team, and now they're a top 4 team, now you're picking 28th?
Yeah.
What's the point of getting a pick? And you're giving Giannis to a team that's going to be good for 7 years. So now you get 7 years worth of staggered picks.
Again.
And they're all going to be bottom of the first round?
You don't have a choice.
You do have a choice.
I don't think you do. I don't think you do.
This is where you and I differ.
Well,
we disagree.
You're just going to keep Giannis and get nothing?
You've got time. You've got time on your side. Giannis is under contract this year and next year, and he hasn't bucked. In the offseason, it was, I want to go to New York. That's the only place I would go. Okay, fine. And then now we have a Shams report, and now Milwaukee's going to tremble and panic.
No, it's a pre-buck, and whatever's going on behind the scenes is a hell of a lot more than what's going on Twitter.
Right, and now we have a calf injury, so now you can't trade a guy who's injured.
Well, or is the calf injury a little message?
Well, I mean, the message is I'm a hurt player. So
the message might be,
go ahead and get less back for me because I'm too injured.
Message might be I'm not playing for you anymore.
Oh, the message actually might be, oh boy, it's a calf. My Achilles could be one jumper away from exploding.
Yeah, it could be.
Yeah,
it could be.
So if I'm the Bucks, I'm in no rush.